Episode 1. Welcome back to Consciously Evolving Enterprises. As always, I am your host, Mr. Ryan Dillon Brassington. A quick introduction. Okay, so this is a series of true short stories where we have been exploring the scary paranormal happenings caused by unfortunate domestic events in the family home. These are all freaky stories of survival in a domestic violent haunted home, from the memories of people that with lived experiences and have been kind enough to share their events and stories with us. Some seeking to find a common connection to verify the truth, others tell their truth to find healing, to heal that inner child and reconcile with a past long avoided, push away and shut down. With true tales they open the door where shadows linger in nightmares, memories, fragmented memories of a former life lived as a child, and the real life monsters are the parents we are meant to love in that family home. This first story is one of my own. This is my experience with paranormal activity. It took me some time to build up the courage to begin to document this story. However it lingered, the childhood memory had to leak into my waking thoughts. Thoughts to write a story had opened up a rabbit hole, diving deep to find forgotten pieces on a long-lost puzzle, into the dark reasons of a hospitable environment and why I as a child have haunting memories of mirrors and everything that happened with the zone of such a small bathroom mirror in my family home. It sounds ridiculous to say, when I was a child I was more than afraid of mirrors, but this fear I now explore come with revelations and connections I only now realize as I write these memories here as an adult. Hi, my name is Dylan B. and this is my haunting as a child. Home alone for the first time. As children do, they play games, most are mundane, some others fun, but as we know, children like to push the boundaries, and sometimes those boundaries push into the fear zone, daring each other to take a risk, complete a task, tell a truth, leap further, jump higher. However, the innocence of children does not know the fear of adults playing a supernatural game, pushing fear into the hearts of growing minds through dare to place your hands on a mirror or say a particular name 10 times over and over again. For most children they had not reaction but the reflection they see before them, or in the shade of darkness their face might morph or contort before their very eyes, feeding more fear to a darkness feasting on the other side. Again, as a child I did not know what I had called out to, I did not know the force to brought forth, whether but pure imagination and the power of manifestation or truly something sinister and supernatural. The memories what I done at school that day is now long lost. What happened in the bathroom is hidden deep down and deep within, far too buried under years of trauma. I drew a blank as to the exact situation, just the suggestion it started that day at school, with a dare to do as others had done and laughed it off walking their way out, but I was not the same. Something happened, something that was so frightening my childhood memory has locked it away and the thought hides behind the shower curtain while I wash. It hover above me when I submerge in the bathtub water. It whispers in rhythmic vibration if my stare lays too long on the reflection, and suddenly that same name can't be avoided, repeating within my head, again and again until I evacuate the bathroom and break away from that reflecting mirror. The issue became so immersed and ingrained my as a child required psychological help, but the help they gave me wasn't what I required, and the issue engulfed me as a small boy child. To reference just a few moments that I believe now as an adult to be a part of the paranormal happenings that invaded my family home. Number 1, as shocking as it may be here, even more so to write and share. However bluntly, me as a 7-year-old child tried to take my own life by drowning myself in the bathroom sink that sat below that small ordinary bathroom mirror. Under that same mirror my father had before stupor drunk and had fallen into a drunken coma. I remember being a small child sneaking under his folded arms resting on the sink. I look up at his snoring stupid drunk face with disgust, and just as I did so his eyes opened with a great surprise. I had finally frightened him, ha ha ha, I thought, but he didn't stop going back. He got such a scar he lunged backward, slipping into the bathtub and his head violently whining back into the perturbing soap holder. I thought he was dead. I felt relief sadly, but then he begun to move and gone breathing with a huff and buff. Then the glee quickly turned to fear, frightened with his reaction. If I'm still standing here, I knew my father could be the devil when he had drank like a demon and would do anything for the drugs he was dependent on. He shared his love by a violent slap up the side of the head that perfectly cupped the ear very time I was present. Like a disliked dog that was never doing anything right, I felt the might of his hate and the dislike for his second-born son. The first left with his mother a long time before he started this family of 4 and married before the second child. Home alone for the first time in a haunted house, my home. This story I could tell another 100 times without variation. I tell it as it happened because that's how it happened. I seen it, felt it, experienced it. This is what happened to me, home alone for the first time. I remember being asked if I would like to go and pick up the new family car, a 1970s twice-owned blue Ford sedan. I was highly engrossed in a newly received art kit, and so I asked my parents if I would be able to stay home. I just wanted to continue to play with my art kit and, as always, my little G.I. Joe action figure, that is always close by. My parents agreed and packed my siblings into the current car, my mother saying they wouldn't be long as they left the house. Sitting at the overly large family table, I'm facing the kitchen at the back of the house. The dining room was open to the lounge room, so I had the front door behind me and to the left, then where I am at the table, across, directly to my left side and a few meters away for a small fella was the hallway door. Walking into the hallway door, the bathroom was to the right, ahead my siblings' bedroom. Then to the left was my room and the third way down the end of the hallway room was my parents' bedroom. Sitting there, I was fully getting into creating my art, scribbling my heart out, loving my new art kit. Suddenly, from nowhere, my arm hairs tingle and stand up on end. This tingling sensation runs up my arms, through my chest, up my spine to the back of my neck, every little peach fuzzed hair standing tall. I felt a change in the air, a shift in the environment around me. This change in atmosphere along with the electrical tingling sensation caused me to instantly to pause and look up, and so, I look up, my eyes instantly drawn to the doorway of the hall. At that exact moment, that very instant when I look up, walking from left to right, I see a full-bodied apparition, a solid gray blanket of smoky mist as tall as a man drifts past, going from the left to right, walking up the hall, going into the bathroom. That tingle sensation quickly turned into an electric shock. As soon after it passes, I did not hesitate to get out. I snatch up my G.I. Joe as I stood up to leave out the front door, but there was no way I was going to have my back to this thing, so when I stood up with my G.I. Joe clutched in my right fist, I slowly walked backwards heading towards the front door, that hall doorway never leaving my sight. I don't think I blinked even twice. I walked backwards across the lounge room, fumbled to open the big door without looking at it, still staring forwards towards what I had seen. I walk with my back going out the screen door first, then I make my way down the stairs walking backward facing the house all the way to the letterbox. As I walked backwards across the yard, I'm looking at the front door. Next to the front door are the two large lounge room windows. Then through one of the large windows something got my attention. In this one spot, something started to come into view. I swear to God something was manifesting, growing out through and pressing out from between the vertical blinds. It looked like a face. Holy shit, it's my mother's face. My mother's face randomly started to appear in the window, these two wide and angry-looking eyes, that slowly crept out from between the vertical blinds. Shit, it really was my mother's face, but I know for sure that my mother is not fucking home, so if not, what the fuck is that? My inner voice struggles to comprehend and loops questions and statements like, I know that is not my mother, I know for sure she isn't home, so I stare at the face in window, confused and scared. What am I looking at? Holy shit. I'm looking at a full image of my mother's face in the window, and this face is staring right back at me. What is this thing staring at me, staring without emotion, without blinking, no expression except for the wide angry eyes staring at me, continuously staring at me? I stood for a few minutes looking, trying to figure out what I was looking at. While I looked and stared at this thing, it did move, it didn't budge an inch, there was nothing human about it. This thing just continued with its wide eyes stare. It stared me down until I could no longer look or stare. In return, an overwhelming feeling of illness, sick with intimidation. I lower my head looking away and down to the grass below. I felt sick even thinking to look again, not even one more time. So, I just sat down next to the letterbox playing with my G.I. Joe. I didn't look again until a friend, Nicole, from a few houses down was walking past and asked what I was doing. I told her I was waiting for my family to get back from getting the new car. She looked up at the house and said, "Isn't that your mum there? She's just there looking at us through the window?" "No. There is no body home but me," I sternly state. "But there, that's your mum." Nicole then held her hand up and waved. This thing had no reaction. "Nicole, that isn't my mother. There is nobody home but me. I don't know what that thing is," I said to her sternly. "What? So that's not your mum?" Nicole reacts. "No, I swear," I state without expression. "It's been staring at me since I came outside. I left the house because I had seen a ghost, and then I see this face staring at me from inside." "Is it still staring at me?" I asked. She replies with, "No, it's staring at us." Nicole, still in disbelief, said, "What? Really? Bullshit. No. I don't believe you." So, I told her, "That thing there has been staring at me for at least an hour." Nicole said, "All right then, let's check it out together and link arms, and then we will slowly walk up to it." "Together?" I said, "All right. Yeah, all right. Let's do it." I also wanted to know what the fuck that thing is. So, the both of us scared shitless linked arms tightly with her on my left side. Together we take one step forwards, then one after the other. With our first step forward, it did not react. Second step in, it continues staring awkwardly. Third and fourth step, our arms gripped even tighter, closer with another step forward. We can see it is in full focus, my mother's face between the blinds, just staring at us in its sight. With this next step closer, our arms are linked tighter than ever. Now we are almost face to face with this thing that is posing as my mother. We were just one step and a concrete veranda away, looking at this face imitating my mum, as it still stares back with these wide angry eyes. As we breathe deep and agree to take a final step closer, we finally got a reaction from this thing. In a sudden silent movement, it started to recede, the face slowly dissipating, like exhaled cloud of black smoke. The face of my mother in the window faded into nothingness, as if it never was. The blinds come together without sway, the gap closing, leaving no evidence to where the face just was. "Holy crap," Nicole cried out. As we both jump and scream in a shudder with shock, laughter with fright and disbelief of what we had just seen, gripping each other by the arms and jumping around on the spot. "Oh my God," says Nicole. "Told you," I cheekily reply. Just as we started to talk in a blubbering mess of hyperreaction, in drives the family car into the driveway, with both my parents in the front and my siblings in the rear, smiling with glee, whooping and whistling as they pull into the drive with the new blue Ford. We both rush up to the car, and with us both trying to explain through stumbling words of confusion and fright, every word said with gasping excitement. We both tried to tell them what we had seen, what had just happened, each other as a witness to the weirdness. But our body language was mistaken for excitement. Our words, being nearly audible and nonsensical, were quickly swept aside, and our experience neglected of attention in the excitement of the arriving new car. This is one of many ghostly paranormal events from my childhood home. That's the end of this one. Thank you for listening, reading, sharing. We appreciate you. See you next time at Consciously Evolving Enterprises.